Hey there, Mark Bursteiner here. Thanks for stopping by Stabilize Us. Stabilize Us is an initiative to help bring rent back down to earth in New York City. There's a major problem right now with rent spiraling out of control. I don't know if you've noticed, but in the last 5 years or so, rent has just absolutely skyrocketed, especially in popular neighborhoods like Park Slope, Williamsburg, and so on and so forth. The problem here is that there are laws put forth by the Rent Stabilization Code that landlords just don't think they have to abide by. And there's just about nothing stopping them from doing that. There's very little enforcement. The DHCR basically doesn't do their jobs. And what that means is that they're able to do things like hike rent at the end of a one-year lease by $500 or $600, which is obviously absolutely insane. What that leads to is a bunch of turnover, which makes it much easier for them to continue hiking the rent up in that fashion. And then once the rent has been driven up, new buildings pop up, which means that they get to set the rent even higher based on the amount of money they spend on the building and how popular the neighborhood is. Now, there's a lot more detail that we could go into this, which we do on the site. But the thing that you need to know is that we're here to help educate you and answer your questions and get you to where you feel comfortable organizing your building, educating the rest of your neighbors, and hopefully taking action. The next step is to head over to the start page where we kind of really detail out all of the problems and what we can do to change them. Once you start organizing your neighbors, you're going to want to get rent histories for all of the units in your building, and you're going to want to actually talk to your landlord and actually approach them and see if there's something that you can do about it. If there isn't, there are other steps you can take that involve housing court in New York City, but that is obviously a last resort, worst case scenario. Ideally, this gets resolved after a conversation, but that isn't the case. Court is the step you can take. And once you've organized everybody, you really need to contact your representatives. Here in New York, we have different districts for each of the areas in Brooklyn, Upper East Side, Lower East Side, and so on and so forth. Head to, I believe it's nysenate.gov, and find your representative, contact them, send them an email, give them a call, tell them what the problems are in your building in particular and what we can do to change them. Hopefully that'll spur enough in them to actually want to see some change. Maybe a bill will hit the floor and we can actually do something about rent in New York City and start holding landlords accountable for the things that they're doing here in Brooklyn and in New York City. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video and stopping by the site. Hopefully there's a lot of information here for you. If you have any questions, either leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to respond to them if you're on YouTube, or head to the contact page here on stabilize.us and send me an email. I'd like to do an FAQ and see what the common questions are, answer them via video, and hopefully in the near future start doing some Google Hangouts with people so we can answer some questions live. Thanks again for stopping by, and I really hope that you find some good information here. Take care.